thousands of illegal immigrants have started using a new government app to self-deport. Now, think about this for a minute. One of the first things that President Trump did upon being sworn in on January the 20th was to shut down the Biden-era CBP app that allowed illegals to get into our country. They literally could set an appointment on an app that they were encouraged to download in wherever they were, Mexico, South America, wherever, in order to help facilitate their entry into our country. Trump closed that app down day one. The new app that is up assists them in self-deporting. Trump's app helps them get out of the country. And he's encouraging people to do so rather than being arrested and taken out by ICE agents. And we're told that thousands are using it. According to the Department of Homeland Security, more than 5,000 people have voluntarily left the country using this CBP app. This all ties into a major effort within the Trump administration to get undocumented immigrants to leave on their own. It's easier for everybody. It's less expensive for us. It's easier for them. Their family's not disrupted. I mean, you have to think about it for a minute. It would be horrible. Let's say that you're an illegal family here, mom, dad, and a couple of kids, and dad is out doing something he shouldn't do. He's picked up by ICE agents and never goes back home. He's taken to an ICE detention facility, and then eventually taken back to Mexico or El Salvador if he's a criminal. As far as burglary, robbery, murder, some of these, the worst of the worst, as the Homeland Secretary Kristi Noem said yesterday, that's who they're focusing on. He's taken to a prison in El Salvador. It'd be a whole lot easier, wouldn't it, if they just did this on their own? And I get this. I'm 1,000% in favor of this app. I think it's money well spent if we can get them to leave on their own. The flyers message that they've been circulating says that self-deportation is safe. Leave on your own terms by picking your departure flight and when you leave. President Trump has been very supportive, as you know. He released a video recently urging people to do just that, to self-deport. In it, he says that leaving voluntarily is the safest option and might help people eventually return legally. Here's his video message.
People in our country illegally can self-deport the easy way, or they can get deported the hard way, and that's not pleasant. The Biden administration exploited the CBP One app to allow more than 1 million aliens to illegally enter the United States. Now my administration is launching the CBP Home app to give people in our country illegally an easy way to leave now and self-deport voluntarily. If they do, they could potentially have the opportunity to return legally at some point in the future. But if they do not avail themselves of this opportunity, then they will be found, they will be deported, and they will never be admitted again to the United States, ever again. You're never coming in.
In the ReliefFactor.com studios, 800-655-MIKE, 800-655-6453. Hope you'll join the conversation. Go to the phones. Charles is in Hickory Grove, South Carolina. Welcome, Charles.
Hey, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Hope you are. What's on your mind today?
Well, I just wanted to comment on, first of all, you're doing a great job. I appreciate that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I want to comment on President Trump saying that, you know, if illegals go back on their own, then they're allowed to come back in later on legally. And that's what should have been done, you know, years ago.
Exactly.
But be perfectly honest with you, a lot of them are not going to leave. You know, like up in Gaston County and York and all that, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
And, you know, the thing is, you know, people say, well, don't you feel bad that you're sending them back and their kids and all that? And I'm like, well, don't you feel bad that people had their houses foreclosed and because they couldn't afford to pay the taxes that keep going up all the time. So, I understand, but they need to come in, the front door instead of the back door, and we don't need to keep paying for everything. I mean, there's just like my hometown, I don't know if it has a physical newspaper anymore, but a friend of mine's wife told me that the people, all the illegals are staying at the Howard Johnson's hotel, and they were getting $20,000 a month. I mean, I would love to get $20,000 a month, And,
yeah, well, I would too, and I don't know about that. You always you hear a lot of these stories, some true, some are not. But look, we know they're here. We know that they are using services, our healthcare services, a lot of other things. They're not paying the taxes, and so it's time that we crack down on this. And that's what President Trump, he promised it during the campaign. That's what he's going to do. Now, I get what the caller was saying there. It does. If you have a relationship with someone, maybe he's the landscaper who cuts your grass every week. You think about it, it's tough for him and his family to be returned. But you have to remind yourself they made a decision. They broke the law when they came into our country illegally. But what about people like the family of Oscar Omar Hernandez? He was 13 years old before he was murdered. He was allegedly killed by his soccer coach, Mario Garcia Aquino. His body was found in a remote area in Oxnard, California, near soccer fields where his team played. A murder charge has been filed against Garcia Aquino with a special circumstance allegation that the murder was committed during the commission or attempted commission of lewd acts with a child. The cause of death has not been revealed yet. Talk to this family about being concerned about returning other illegals. According to the report from the Los Angeles Times, relying on multiple law enforcement sources, Garcia Aquino is an undocumented immigrant from El Salvador. He's here illegally. It gets worse, though. This guy's a bad guy. Aquino was also the subject of an LAPD investigation into sexual assault of a minor in 2022, but he was never charged because at that point the alleged victim declined to testify against him. At the time of his arrest, Garcia Aquino had just been charged with assault with intent to commit rape in a separate case that allegedly occurred in February. The victim in that case was also one of Garcia Aquino's players. So this guy was a soccer coach. Parents entrusted their kids with him, and he was sexually assaulting them and murdered one allegedly. At a press conference this past week, L.A. County Sheriff Robert Luna said that the coach, quote, befriended a Sylmar family who allowed their juvenile son to stay with him at his residence in Palmdale, California. The family subsequently filed a criminal report with the Palmdale Sheriff's Station alleging sexual abuse of their child. But that's not all. We're not done. During the investigation, while working with the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office, detectives learned that there was another unrelated child sexual abuse case being handled by the Los Angeles Police Department. And based on those investigations, what they found was that, and Sheriff Luna believed that there are probably other victims who have yet to come forward. So that's a total of 4 victims that we know of. The 2022 victim, 2 victims from 2024, 2025, and then young 13-year-old Hernandez, who didn't survive to tell the story. This guy murdered him, allegedly. This is why we have to send the worst of the worst back. We have to get them out of our country and do it now. 800-655-MIKE, 800-655-6453. Hope you're enjoying the conversation today.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.